Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shoaib Akhtar and I am the Managing Director of Mystic Way International, which is a precision machining and engineering company based in Faisalabad. We are an export-oriented company and we make precision components for the international market. Why solar? Why did we go ahead for a solar power generation system for our company? It's obvious because of the rising energy costs. That's always one of the first reasons. But secondly, we are very environment conscious as well, and we see pollution. We've got a fossil fuel use in the industry as well as power generation on the road. So we wanted to basically do our part to reduce emissions and contribute to good environment. So it seemed like the right thing to do for us to go solar. Secondly, we are a high-tech engineering company, and this is an engineering-based initiative. So we felt that we should be one of the first ones, one of the early ones in the region to go that route. So these are some of the reasons we went solar. Why Shahzad Solar? Shahzad, I was quite clear that we wanted to have a local player to actually partner with to install the system. So I wanted to actually, I interviewed several companies. I wanted people who had an engineering bent of mind, who were hands-on, and who understood and were enthusiastic about the technology. And I wanted a company who are open about the architecture of the company and basically open-minded towards and include us in the decision-making of the hardware selection and the architecture of the system. So I found all these things that I was looking for were offered to me by the Shahzad Solar team. They were very open-minded, they were very competent, they have a long-standing interaction and understanding of electrical systems and solar, because I think they have been involved in the solar tube well industry for a long time. So I found them very resourceful and sort of was a good match right off the bat because of the openness of communication and their willingness to understand our needs and to cater to our concerns and work with us. So the first meeting was a bit, we were skeptical and the interview was quite rigorous. But later on, we realized that they are a very good fit with our capability. And being engineering oriented, being an engineer myself and running an engineering oriented company, I didn't have any hang-ups with brand names. So there are a lot of big brand companies who were very well presented on the internet. But I really cut through the fluff and I go right to the bottom of the technology. And I felt that these people had everything that's needed. So we went with Shahzad Solar. So the installation process, like I said, they were very open towards the architectural design of the system, and they included us from the beginning. So we discussed the brands of solar panels out there and the pros and cons. And the hardware, the inverters being offered in the market, and pros and cons. And they were quite open as to what, and we had the latitude to help to choose what we wanted to go with. So we didn't really feel constricted in being stuck with one architectural configuration. We felt that we had a lot of flexibility in choosing, so that basically helped. So the process was very open. They kept us in the loop. They kept us informed. I didn't see that there were any corners cut. The wiring was immaculately done. The hardware we used was exactly as described in the quotation process. And we're very satisfied the way the project was handled on ground. And one of the things was that being a young startup organization, I realized that that the frontline team of Shahzad Solar were very much involved. So it was not like the project was outsourced to a contractor, but the stakeholders were hands-on, present, on ground and communicating all the details. And what was really impressive was their interaction with the government. Usually the interaction with the government, getting approvals, could be a long-drawn, cumbersome process. And usually when there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of ambiguity about the timeline. But they were very impressive. They kept us in the loop. They kept us appraised of the progress, and we achieved they achieved all the certification process from the government in a very impressively quick time. And the other thing, well, okay, the last thing is, why do I recommend Shahzad Solar to people who basically ask me about the project? Definitely, I would say for Faisalabad oriented companies, I would say the Shahzad Solar should be the company of choice for several tangible reasons. First, they're very hands-on. They have experience in solar. They have experience in electrical distribution systems and networks. They understand this market. Secondly, they're hands-on and they're present. That's the key thing. They're always at our beck and call whenever we had an issue. They're a local company, resourceful, and I find the service is immaculate, and they're very service oriented. And I've already recommended them to a lot of people, and I continue to do so. But my interaction with them, I think that's not just Faisalabad. I think they have the potential to go province-wide once they have the right resources, and they can probably go national. But that's one good thing about them as well. I don't think they overcommit. They're very upfront in admitting their limitations, which is the key thing to do. Not a lot of companies in Pakistan do that. People always oversell and overcommit, and they have trouble, fulfilling their commitments. But in this case, I thought that they committed exactly what they could deliver, and they delivered it on time and delivered it well. So I do highly recommend them to people in Faisalabad and eventually in cities in the rest of the province as well.